Hello everyone, you are listening to the Tea and Trails podcast. I'm Harry Pierce, running on the southwest coast path towards Podium Cove and Sharkham Point. I've just ticked over a half marathon distance on my big Sunday adventure whilst the family are away. Got the podcast on in my headphones, who are motivating me today, just like every other day out on the trails, and I'm sure many other people, whatever they're doing on the trails or driving, you are in the ears of many people. I will hand over to Gary and Eddie. Enjoy the podcast. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the Tea and Trails podcast. On the countdown, I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need.
We chatted about this, Eddie. No singing. Okay.
He looked so awkward. He thought I was going to do the whole rendition. Anyone else feeling just totally overwhelmed? I just said to Guy, that's not too much. I got 21 messages. WhatsApp messages I've not replied to. I've got Post-it notes stuck to every orifice. And last night I was up watching The Holiday, Gary, until too late. Kate was just getting told his name was engaged. Jasper was engaged. Cameron was having a rough time over in LA. Kids came on the sofa and I said, this is a dangerous game on a Sunday night. Like Love Actually and The Holiday and stuff that they seem to flash up on your Christmas Netflix, don't they? And you forget them, don't you? And you're like, I forgot that bit. Thanks to Harry from a very breezy southwest coast path for the intro. I'm really looking forward to some Christmas intros as people head to far-flung places for either holiday skiing. We haven't had a skiing one. Morsing Gal Pals, get onto this. Yeah. Santa? Do you think Santa listens? Definitely Mrs. Santa
100%.
Listens. She's a big runner. Keep those intros coming. Email them to hello@teaandtrails.com. Big portion of Christmas love to our patrons for the price of a cuppa. You can keep the lights hot and the mics on. It is the best way to support the podcast going into 2026. I had a family meal meeting, because I always like to make sure the veggies are going to be catered for, Gary, because sometimes you can be a little bit underfed. At like the Christmas roast, people are having pigs in blankets and the turkey, and then you get the gravy. And if you're a veggie,
how many numbers are you catering for?
Easy double figures, maybe even triple. So we were going through our joint shopping list of who was going to buy what. And my dad piped up one saying, I've heard you found some mince pie, £3.50. We'll have those luxury ones, please.
Love it.
Don't forget, if you want a snoozer or bubble hat, please add your address to Patreon. No address, no goodies. Also, if you join Patreon for you save 10% on your membership. And if you join the legend tier above, we'll send you a bubble hat too. We got a new Patreon perk. Trail Outlaws have shared a generous 10% off code with our patrons, and you can use it on any of their 2026 events. This is a new one, Gary. This I like. People are thinking outside the box. The first 50 people to use the code will actually get 15% off. A bit of Trail Outlaws Christmas spirit over on Patreon. So don't hang around if you're eyeing one of their races. Gary, you've done a bunch of their races. I remember you doing St. Cuthbert's Way. I don't remember the Kilda Darks. You've written a list.
They've got these urban trail series too, so lots of little events, but they're big kind of standout races. I've done the Kilda Dark Skies, Wooler Dark Skies half marathon just a few months ago, Wooler Marathon, St. Cuthbert's Way 100k and 45 mile too. Yeah, loads to choose from over at Trail Outlaws. Head over to www.trailoutlaws.com. Any issues with the code, and any of the codes, to be honest, I do get a lot of emails saying codes don't work. If you send me a message or an email asking about if a code works,
you'll get a reply, but May or June.
Well, no, all I do is send that same email on to whoever I'm dealing with over at Trail Outlaws or wherever it is. So the best and the quickest thing to do is to reach out to the Patreon partner
with a really rude email saying,
strong
email. Should we apologise about your voice?
Oh, I think it's a gift.
Okay.
I've had a triple whammy of alcohol, screaming at the TV, and I think I've caught this little bug. I think it's quite a big bug for some people, to be honest, but so I've got a triple whammy.
I think it makes you sound a lot more manly than you actually are.
Close your eyes, not 5'6".
Close your eyes. 5'6" in heels.
Don't know about Father Christmas, or probably we'll get told off by our listeners here. It was Radio 5. They had a guest on talking about who they think Father Christmas and Ebenezer Scrooge would vote for.
Oh,
Political parties.
yeah. Well, we all know who Scrooge would vote for, maybe. Is this in the UK or in America where they talk
Yeah, UK,
about?
UK.
Okay, UK. I think Father Christmas might be a bit of a Lib Dem guy.
Well, Green Lib Dem.
Yeah, isn't that funny that we kind of think that? Scrooge, Labour.
Reform. There you go. Thanks to X Miles, Precision Fuel Hydration, Harrier Trail Running, Phoenix Light UK, and Protein Rebels sponsoring this week's show. X Miles is a family-owned, independent endurance sports retailer that provides nutritional goods, apparel, and accessories to help athletes perform and recover at their best. X Miles offer a wide range of high-quality products from leading brands, and their team of nutrition experts, cyclists, runners, and outdoor enthusiasts can provide expert advice and guidance to help you reach your goals. Whether you're a seasoned athlete or just getting started, X Miles is the perfect place to find everything you need to succeed. Listeners can get 10% store credit at www.xmiles.co.uk. Big news, X Miles have just launched the new X Miles app. To celebrate the launch, they are running the biggest giveaway yet. Anyone who places an order through the app in December will be entered to win £1,000 worth of nutrition for 2026.
10 Morton gels. Is that 10 Morton gels?
Grand's worth of nutrition. That is pretty impressive. It's a huge moment for X Miles as they mark their 10-year anniversary.
What would be in your £1,000 if you were like, you could only have one thing?
Oi, oi, oi.
That's a good one, isn't it? Add that to your Christmas quiz.
Well, X Miles don't sell pies, cheese pies, do they? Cheese pies and iron brew. That would be my. Oh, but actually, sports nutrition. Oh, I'm not even going to answer that one. It's a tough one. Too tough. Very grateful to Yoko Projects for producing the Tea and Trails cap. Pop over to Yoko Projects if you would like one. Don't forget, patrons can receive 20% off. Also, all you lovely listeners can enjoy 10% off with the code T10. And if you're looking for all the discount codes, then head over to Patreon, teaandtrails.com, or check out the show notes where you'll find our link tree.
This week we watched Stardust, which is an old, is a much older. Love it. So hard. I know I've said this before, to find something family viewing that is suitable for our wide range of ages, but they don't really like. Even Evie doesn't like a schmaltzy. They like an action. I think kids are all probably the same. They like a bit of a comedy action. Anything with the rock in, perfect. I was like, what can we watch? So we put on Stardust, and I could sort of remember it. And I thought, I know there's a couple of bits, but there's nothing like really scary. But the story is enough. There's enough fighting. There's enough blood. There's enough for everybody. And
Michelle Pfeiffer, isn't it?
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer and Claire Danes. And as we're watching it, one of the kids said, "You look like Claire Danes, Mum." I was like,
I'm having a laugh.
Shut up. Still got it. They were like, not now, but you know, you've got to look at her. And I was like, no, you're right. I see that angular bone structure. As the film goes on and Michelle Pfeiffer's trying to like kill Claire Danes throughout it, and she's beautiful, and then she gets like older and like her boobs sag and everything. I knew it. I was waiting for one of the teenagers to go, hang on a sec, Mum, you're not like her. That's who you are.
Brutal. Oh my goodness, mate.
It was. I think her hands like started to look like really old, and they were like, "Mum, that's more like you."
Fun fact, Jonathan Ross's wife, I'm sure she wrote the book Stardust.
No way. Oh, the book must be quite good. How are you doing? I'm sorry, when we logged on, I didn't realise how ill you actually are. I remember recording when you had COVID, and your eyes were, this is a long time ago.
I need to change this light. This light is not sympathetic. It's
your
making me look
jaundice
even iller.
light. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a doozy of a week. I'm feeling pretty poorly. I've had a poorly dog. I've had a finger up my bum.
Is this pleasure? Is this going down a hole of
always pleasure? Always pleasure.
Going down a hole.
For some reason, though, I wasn't expecting to have a rectal exam.
I told you were going to get a finger up your dig.
I thought I was going to lobby my case, and he's like, "Oh, up on the table." Before I could say Sunderland 1, Newcastle 0, I had a finger up my arse.
Did he put gloves on? Did he put some lube on?
Gloves and lube. Just for clarity, before I get sued from the NHS, anything I say is a dramatisation of events what happened in the GP.
Yeah, it's not true. I had a finger up my bum as well at Cape Wrath when I hurt my back. And I've been through such trauma. They thought my disc was about to explode. They had to like check I don't know. Well, I hope it was real. No doctors come at me and go, "Eddie, I don't know that. I don't think that was a doctor." But I'd had like the most terrible day with this terrible back injury.
So in a nutshell, I have a slightly enlarged prostate, which I don't think that is unusual for someone my age. But the immediate, what happens next is urine sample, and I'm booked for bloods too. I didn't realise.
Oh, get them to check your iron and your vitamin D, your B12 and your folate.
Well, I've had lots of bloods taken recently for various things. It would be great. One day this will happen. You'll just put in your bloods into a machine and it will test for absolutely everything. But I didn't realise once you've had your finger up your bum, you have to have a bit of time between that and bloods because it could skew the score. Yeah, I didn't realise this. I'm very thorough though, and I'm not going to lie, I've spent an unhealthy amount of time marinating in the thought of like what a positive diagnosis will look like. And that highlights this hobby that we do. It's not like, you know, if you're playing football, you're in a team sport, you're tennis, where you kind of completely focus at the task at hand. Our hobby gives you an amazing amount of time to think about what's going on in your life.
I was like, where are you going on with the prostate running? I was like, are you going to go, I'm really going to struggle as it grows bigger to run, ding, ding.
So I've had about 17 hours this week to percolate what's going on. I'm such a worrier. I didn't realise. I do actually. No, that's not true. I do worry.
Yeah, we all know that. I didn't realise we all 10,000 of us.
But you know, as much as sometimes you just want to kind of bury your head in the sand, I think regardless of the diagnosis, it definitely is good to know either way.
Oh, totally, absolutely. What's the like time scale of it? What's next?
This is what added a layer of stress onto my week. I pop my urine sample into the GP. Then later on that day, I get a text from the GP saying, come this evening, we've got an appointment at 5:40. And I'm like, shit, I've not made this appointment. What the hell is this about? I called them up and it was basically just a glitch in the system. It shouldn't have happened at all. I had no
Gary, were you like, oh my God, that's it. I've got a tumour. Yeah. It's all over.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, like that is so I was like really impressed. Like, bloody hell, I didn't realise they'd do that so fast. And then I thought, it's a bit shit getting a text. Surely if it was serious, I'd get a call from somebody. But yeah, complete just a glitch in the system. But this was all happening while I was in the vets with Rex. So I was like just kind of batting off all this stress. So on the 23rd, nice little sober and build up to Christmas, just before I go and collect my Christmas hamper from the butchers, that's when I get my bloods taken. So there's going to be no results this side of Christmas, but been a pretty sobering week. And yeah, now it's poor little Rex's turn. He's been under the cosh big time, to be honest. So he had a trip to the vets with some teeth out. He was absolutely wrecked after his surgery. Luckily, he was barking early, so that's a good sign. And he dragged me around our little dog walk this morning.
Oh, good. Oh, he's back on back out walking. That's all.
But he is, Rex is... we're besties. We spend a lot of time with each other, but he is not usually this clingy. Like, again, just before recording, he was sitting down. He's got like a little bed down there, and he doesn't normally...
Of course he has. He's got a bed in every room. Our dogs have got a bed in every room.
He loves his enormous bed. The bed that we bought by mistake. It's like a little boudoir. It's his massive bed. Oh.
Just fan him.
We lost probably 3 nights of sleep because the first night Rex constantly, I don't know if you've ever poodle dogs, they just want to go outside all the time. And I gave in, and about 3 o'clock in the morning I just got up and edited the podcast. So that was productive, but absolutely wiped me out. And then the second night, I can't remember exactly what it was that kept us up, but yeah. And Lisa was up at like 4:30 for work, so I was like took the brunt of the shifts.
Gary.
But yeah, I thought I'll have a day off. That'd be great. I'll recharge my batteries. But I think the cortisol flown through my body just undid any potential recharging. I will get onto the running eventually. We had Robbo's retirement due. Apologies, Neil, if you don't want me talking about this. But so Robbo's retired now, and it was a great night. I think he loved it.
He's not old enough to be retired.
I know, imagine that. I think when you join, I don't know the ins and outs, but if you join the forces, I think you can have like, if you've done so many years in service.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Once your name's too well known around the block, you're no good to them.
Yeah, I think he loved it. Lots of friends, lots of family to celebrate with him. And then Lisa was up with the crack ass on Sunday, so we couldn't stay late. And that saved me because that was long run day. So let's get on a bit of running. I just did my 10 times 3 minutes and 5 times 4 minutes. I changed the effort. So on the 10 times 3 minutes, I introduced a bit of elevation. So I kept the top speed the same. I think I cranked it up to maybe 1%. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Woo! 1%.
And then the 5 times 4 minutes, it's just the number 10 on the treadmill. It doesn't mean anything, but I think I went up to like 10.2 or something like that. I just kind of put a little bit more speed into it. I don't remember the last time I actually did a session outside. The treadmill is like a real comfort blanket for me. The long run then on Sunday, I think it was about 22 miles in total. And this is a phenomena that runners will appreciate, the perceived effort. If I was to go out on a Moors trip or the Lakes trip and we did 25 miles, yeah, it would be pooped, but the perceived effort would be quite low for the day. 22 miles on your own. Oh my God, Eddie, it was tough.
You do 4 and you think, no, this can't be right. I've only done 4 miles. And you're like, oh, I'm a bit tired. And then you think of all, especially if it's a home loop that you've done loads of times and you're like, I got such a long way to go.
And it was supposed to be like 3 hours 45-ish. I think that was what was on the plan. So it was a significant run.
Oh, 4 hours. Why is that so hard? 4 hours somewhere different or nice and hilly. So there's loads of hiking or with a pal. Mine's by your own. But it's always better. Once you get stuck in, first hour, always just let it settle. It's always
the one upside of having I'm not too sure if this is a side effect, but the enlarged prostate is I get lots of wee breaks. So I'm always kind of stopping every couple of miles to have a wee. End of the week, watching the match with George and Rex. Rex was super clingy. So it was a bit subdued on the sofa when Sunderland scored. I'm not going to go over the top with how happy we were on the south side of the weir. But commiserations, to all the Newcastle supporting sisters and brothers out there. You know, where we are in football terms, Sunderland, Newcastle at the moment, with the resources Newcastle have, they were playing Champions League football during the week. We're in a different universe at the moment. So to get the win, it's a big plus. TV for the week, George and I have been watching, I don't think it's on your roster in the Sutton household. It's a programme called Man Like Mo Bean by a comedian called Guz Khan.
Never heard of it.
All right, okay. It's a comedy drama set in Birmingham. Hilarity ensues as Mo Bean, who was once a drug dealer, tries to escape his dark past and single-handedly raise his 15-year-old sister. That's whetted your appetite. It's 25 minutes long, so it's perfect gap filler. It's a 15 certificate, so... yeah, older teenage kids.
Bits, not for me.
Well, George loves it. There's some swear words in it and some adult content. But for the week, what was a very challenging week, running-wise, I still did over 80 miles. How I deal with trauma is by doing more exercise. And that's pretty much what I did this week was, so 80 miles, well over 10,000 feet.
Now.
I know, it's done me in. And I'll probably still plough on and bury myself for Christmas. If I recorded the vert, I think over 10,000 feet, a good chunk of cardio. Finally got my Christmas lights up, which was a high point of the week. Storm Bram, he had a bit of jeopardy to the task, though. I think we got away with the severe winds, but it was still a bit gusty going up the ladder to put.
Where are your lights? Are they like roof? Have you gone around the door? What are we looking at?
I suppose it's like a little roof that hangs over the first floor of the property. That sounds grand. It's not like
it does sound grand. Over the wing.
Yes,
over wing.
Yes. Over the Black Cat wing, yes. But it's nice because now literally all of our neighbours have made such an effort with Christmas lights.
So how did you get them up there?
Ladders.
Wow, you're a real man, Gary.
Looks very Christmassy. I was cursing it all. I had 51 things to do, and that was one of the things I didn't want to do, but we did it.
Do you know how many shops we had to drive around to try and find a Christmas tree at the weekend? No, there's none left. Bryn got some deets, and I wasn't entirely listening, but it was something about they'd had a bad year, so there wasn't a lot of trees. I think it might have been to do with the wet.
So what's the status?
And then they're going to have another bad year. Anyway, 6. By the time we got to the 4th place, so we were going in 2 cars, so
you
that
buy
we could bring the
anything
tree home. Literally couldn't care less. But even the one, there were like 2 left when we went to about the 4th place. Let's just say one of the children had enough and actually just refused to get out of the car and decided that the festive spirit was not living on in their soul. So, and it was really pouring with rain. So we left, I took 2 of them home and missed out on choosing the tree, which was fine by me. I went home and had a cup of tea. But 6 places eventually, I kept tracking him going, where is he now? Where is he now? I did find the tree in the end. So we are Christmased up now. The tree is up. Every single bit of Christmas tat. We've still got all the little bits that the kids made when they were at like nursery and stuff. It all comes out. It all has to be displayed. The nativity is up. Baby Jesus has been hidden. And every year, baby Jesus gets hidden until Christmas Day and nobody can ever remember where it is. Mum and Dad's nativity scene, baby Jesus disappeared one Christmas and has never been seen again.
I love
He
it.
disappeared on Christmas Day.
Somebody's
And
chuckling away.
Somebody
I got that baby Jesus.
has kidnapped baby Jesus and never ever been found again. So what was meant to be like lovely, like let's go and get the tree.
Oh, you've been robbed.
By the time we got it, everyone was so grumpy and tired, and it was dark and like 6 o'clock. And then once we got the dog, I had to go. So we still need to do the markathon run. It's getting to the point now. We're halfway through where I'm like, I'm gonna sit quite quietly and just see the response. Everybody's still in. Everyone is still in. We've had some incredible Storm Bram. Lots of people would say what I did was some questionable parenting. We decided we'd have to change the run route because the wind and the branches was wild. And so we remapped a new route. Storm Bram thought it could stop us, but it didn't, Gary. They're still going strong. We've had one strop. That was because I chose a cross-country route and we were knee-deep in mud and water, and one of them wasn't that impressed. What I love seeing is the progress, especially Evie. We are on a hill, so if they go out and they run so fast down the hill, then we have to turn around, and so you always finish your run on a slight incline. When we started it, we'd come back up the hill, she'd be like, and then you sort of go around the corner and it kicks up a little bit, and she walked up that bit. And then last night when we were doing it, she was chatting away, and I said, Eves, you just ran all the way up that hill and you didn't draw a breath. And she said, Mum, I don't even notice it now. And I was like, that's my girl.
Yes.
2 weeks, they are starting to say, oh, my knees. Oh,
How long does it last for? Is it all of December?
all of December, every day in December. But they're loving it. And we've had such I love all the head torch. They both said now, both the boys are like, we're going to do Leighton 50.
It's brilliant. We're the 16th as we record this and the wheels haven't fallen off. That is
I think we were like, I said to Eves yesterday, we're halfway, Eves. And I think we've done the hardest bit because they break up for Christmas soon. And then we'll be able to do it in the morning, in the light. We'll be able to go different places because we've only done the same route because they're doing it in the dark after school every day. It might be something they do for the rest of their lives. Do you remember when old Granny, you can't believe it now with the size of her butt cheeks, but she used to be every night I'm like, because I do my run before I get them from school. And then I have to put a sports bra back on because I think, God, I've got to go out again. But I'm never sure how far they want to run, so I don't want to leave my run to run with them because I don't want to go, come on, we've got to do more because I need to make this count. So I just add it on extra. I don't think I went in the hills last week. It was all fields, roads, and there was a treadmill session. It didn't start off great. I really didn't feel well on Monday. I had a late night with kids' sports stuff. I had a stinking headache on Tuesday. I think I mentioned it to you, Gary, but I probably just carried on like an absolute trooper that I am. I really thought, and Bryn was aware, and I thought, no. Anyway, still a hero, still did my run. So I'd meant to be meeting Fiona to go for a long run, and I was still waiting for my car to be picked up, and it was absolutely wild. And I thought, Bryn wasn't here, and I was like, just in case, I can't really go up in the hills, no signal, and something happened. So I treated myself, and instead of a lovely long run with Fiona with spine packs, I did 12 by 5 minutes at 8%. So I've been doing this now for a long 8 weeks, I think. I've been doing uphill
That's a
treadmills.
monster session, Eddie. 12
And
times
I thought I'm going to do 10, but the first 2 were quite slow, and I thought I don't really feel like I worked my hard. I'm so self-critical. I don't really feel I worked my hardest on those 2. So I got to doing 10, and I thought I'm going to make this 12 because I've still got it in my legs. And I don't know if I didn't work hard enough. I don't mentally find that very hard. Like I can run on the treadmill and just stare at the buttons. Nobody wants me. Nobody's talking to me.
Yeah.
All I have to do is just watch the numbers.
The 5 minutes.
It's fine. You do 1 minute is easy. The first minute's easy, Gary, because your heart rate's lowered.
Yeah,
So you just watch it come back up. Second minute is hard because you think I'm not even halfway and this is pinching a bit. Third minute, you go, shit, this is halfway. Have I gone too hard? And then fourth and 5 minute, you're just a champion because you're doing another one on the books.
But how long is your heart screaming for in your recovery after the 5 minutes? Have you lost a minute?
So I just do a minute because I'm only working at that like top top zone 3, so like my sort of hour pace. You'll know if you're working at that pace. This is a good little tip. Your heart rate should come down really quickly, because if I went 5 beats higher, my heart rate would stay elevated for about a minute, because it would be going lactate. But because I'm dealing with the lactate, I'm able to keep shuttling that lactate that very quickly. So I used to give myself 2 minutes, and then when I was like the first 4 times of doing this session, and now as I've got fitter, I really only need a minute. So I stand off the treadmill for about 10 seconds, and then I take the speed down because I can't press the buttons and run at the same time. But the beauty of it, because it's uphill, you're not going as fast. If I run fast, my hamstrings will just fall off now. If I did 12 by 5 minutes at like 6-minute mile pace, 6:20s probably, I would be not able to walk for probably 3 days. But with that same like intensity, but putting it uphill, I can come off that and I always say I feel fine. And then I am pretty tired the next 2 days. So I've been doing them now, I think since October. What I see is my easy running pace is much quicker. I think both mentally and physically, you're like, if you can do a session like that, and I think it just gives you a big aerobic boost as well. I go 8%. I used to do them at 10%. If you're going to try some uphill treadmills, play around with it. So I always warm up at 12%. So I do 5-10 minutes at 12%. Then I do 5-10 minutes at 10%. Then by the time I put it down to 8%, I feel like that's all pretty much flat. In that session, I got 3,600 feet of vert. As we all say, it's not real vert. But I tell you what is real vert, because I do convert that. When I then go, I can go and run up hills. It does convert.
Well, biomechanically, it's vert. It's just you're not getting the DOMs going down the other side. That's the only...
Oh, thank God. Yeah. I didn't mention it last week, but I had to have an operation then on Thursday. And so I thought, I'll real preload that week and get loads of my training done. And of course, none of that happened. So I had to go they'd said to me, it's not painful at all. It's just a local. And so it's literally walk in, walk out, but you can't drive. So Bryn had to come with me. They were like, you can have your phone and you can look at your phone. I was like, oh, this is great. I've got quite a lot of emails. I can do a bit of Christmas shopping. So I had my phone in my hand, and Garrett was so painful. I was like sweating. So I had this gown on, and I had to turn over onto my front at one point, and she was like, so I'll turn you over. And I had like the sweat mark, like down my gown. I was like gripping my phone. It was just like wet in my hand, because I was like, show no pain. At one point, a little tear just came down my cheek. When I'd read the thing, it had said like, some people say this is painful. And then underneath that, it said, some people said it's a lot more painful than they envisioned. And I thought I knew it. Anyway, though, at the end, they said, we did that half an hour quicker than normal because you didn't make any fuss and we didn't have to stop once. So I was very proud of myself. I felt awful afterwards. So I said to the doctor, can I, is it all right if I go running later? And he's like, yeah, of course you can. And that was, wasn't my wisest move, but I still did it. Kids have got to be exercised. Off we go. I had run in the morning before. I hadn't had time to wash my hair, and I had a shower, but I hadn't washed my hair. And then they said, oh, you can't have a shower for 2 days. And I thought, how many runs without a shower? Is this going to be a new Eddie record? I think it was about 8 runs until I could actually have a shower. Incredible. So I did feel better on Saturday. Lindy and I took off to go and do our 10-mile lap, which we love. Bit of everything, bit of road, bit of track, bit of hills. And then we got joined by Bryn, which was lovely. And then Sunday easy miles. No, so I didn't get a really long run in, but I still managed to sort of keep my mileage respectable, nothing like yours. So it was fine. The week was fine. I got one workout in and easy miles. I'm not allowed to lift weights, though, for 2 weeks. 1 week. Not so sad about that, Gary.
You're not so
sad
okay
at all.
Well, it's good timing, isn't it, I suppose, really?
Yeah, and also I'm my strength. I am so strong, Gary. I almost don't need to do a ton of weights because I do it more as like a maintenance injury prevention. So it's no big deal if I don't do it for a week. I'll still be able to go back in and to me, it's more like the core and the ankle stability I have to work on. I can still do that. So then we had a bit of a Sutton family meeting, going through our diaries for January, February. We're booked up. We've got loads of stuff coming up, Gary. I've got lots of exciting events in the new year. And I thought I'm going to have to pull the cord on the Northern Traverse because I have to book that in, start organising stuff. So I thought, I'm just going to do it, Gary. I'm just going to do it. I booked the kennels. booked finish line accommodation. I just thought I'll book some finish line accommodation because then Bryn doesn't have to, if Bryn's not there, it doesn't matter. I've got somewhere to go. I know Shane would let me just lie on the village hall floor while I wait for you to finish, so we can get a photo together. Hey! But I thought, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to book the dogs in. Otherwise, those sort of things, if you don't do, and then you end up like, how are we going to manage it? Or it'll just end up. So I thought, I'll just book it. It's going to give me a little bit of focus. But I definitely need I need something. 2026 has been... I think I'm going to talk about this in the podcast next week. It's been a year of much more lows than highs. There's not been any running highs for Eddie the whole year. It's been a digging, and I thought I just need something. I would only not do it because I was scared, and that we are not tea and trailers. We are not those people. We'll stand on that start line if it all goes tits up.
Good content.
Shut up! I did not mention your prostate as good content. I just thought, I really want to do it. I love that route. I feel very well supported with that team around, and I will definitely be treating it as a problem-solving exercise rather than just see how my body feels, which is madness for a 200-mile race.
Thanks, Precision Fuel and Hydration, for supporting Brew the Coaches. Their website and newsletters are such good source of knowledge, articles to read, and YouTube content to binge on too. On YouTube, you can learn how to fuel an ultramarathon, what pro runners carry on race day, and how to nail your marathon prep. Precision Fuel and Hydration helps athletes personalise their hydration and fueling strategies so they can perform at their best. They will help you know your numbers too. They have a handy free online sweat test and nutrition planner. You know, it used to be tricky, Eddie. Carrying enough fuel for big efforts used to be tricky. Well, not anymore. Get 300 grams of carb from one bottle or flask. Precision Fuel and Hydration re-engineered their popular gel to flow more easily without adding water. No faff, no mess, no wastage. Use Flow Gel with the Flow bottle or Flow flask to track how much fuel you're taking in. Hitting your numbers has never been easier. If you would like to hit those numbers with ease, then head over to www.precisionhydration.com, and don't forget, patrons get 20% off. But if you would like to try Precision Fuel and Hydration for the first time, then you are in luck. Use the code TEATTIME25 for 15% off your first purchase.
Will you have a few gels in your pack for Northern Traverse?
Definitely like the earlier part of it where...
We're dropping some 6-minute Ks.
Some 6-minute Ks. Yeah, there'll be some gels, definitely. It's super quick and super easy, isn't it, just to get that?
Yeah, as you said, especially in the first 20 Ks running.
Yeah.
It's pretty flat. And then also I think when you're actually in the hills and you're moving quite well, it's almost easier to gel. I think the first day, and then you'll never want to see one again for the next few days. But you're not working at that intensity after the first 12 hours. When you've gone off like a hero, average pace 2K an hour, dwell time 15 hours. That's me.
But yeah, I wonder what the weight... I'll need to check all this stuff out. If there's enough... I know with the Dragon's Back race, your bag weight, there wasn't much wiggle room with your nutrition for the week.
Oh, no, it's fine. Because you just have sleeping bag, kit, one change of kit maybe, and then your bowl, your plate. Yeah, it's fine. I don't remember the weight being an issue. You're being fed, so... You get fed well at the stations, but there isn't anywhere to buy anything. The only place is that garage.
I suppose the timing, isn't it? If you time Lordstone's right, if you time the garage, with the garage is there all the time.
You're not going in. No, because the checkpoint's at Lordstone, so you wouldn't be going in that cafe.
You don't run past anything in Patterdale, do you? You don't kind of lean on those amenities. Shap is probably going to be pitch black by the time you
Kirby
get there.
Stephen, but again, you're probably going through that early doors, depending on how far ahead of the trophy you are.
I'm not a naturally sporty person, but started running in my mid-20s and I'm now 56. I've been running ultras and 100-mile races for about 15 years, and in my time I was a front to mid-pack runner, depending on the race. However, in the last 3 years I'm chasing cut-offs and I've been timed out a few times. How can I reframe my running obsession so I'm still content with what I can do and still finish some races? I know I have nothing to prove to anyone and nobody cares cares about what I run or if I finish. But I care, and I'm not sure how I feel about never running long distances again. Has my fitness gone forever, or could I get it back? I still train the same as I always have and do about 50 to 60 miles a week, but at 12-minute mile pace and not 9-minute mile pace. I see other people my age still going okay, so why not me when I still work hard? Any advice would be gratefully appreciated. Thank you, and best wishes, and take care. It's heartbreaking reading that.
I read this fascinating statistic that might help you. First of all, the average 19-year-old runs the same pace marathon as the average 63-year-old. Humans have been evolved to be able to cover distance for a long period of our lives. It was the best way of us to hunt was persistence hunting, and we could do that almost right into the grave. We could move long distances. I found personally, I'm 44 now, I can do one session a week max, and anything more than that and I'm just exhausted. And so the intensity has had to come down massively, but I can still get the volume up if I'm slow enough. And if you think about it, if you have a 10-mile run, if you were to walk that 10 miles, you would be able to do that without a niggle or an injury. So if you just slightly move up that intensity lever, just into an easy jog, easier than you thought, you'll probably be able to get that volume in injury free. Looking at vet categories, keeping fit. If you look around at your friends at your age who are not runners, like how awful they look now. Like my friends won't be listening to this but you know, sitting in the pub, I look around at them every now and I'm like, so glad that I'm still trying. I'm still in the game. I'm still active and fit because compared to these guys, I just look better, I look younger. And I feel better as well. I just feel like, okay, I could go out and walk a day in the mountains if I wanted to, you know, not as quick as I used to be able to, but I can keep up with the kids. And these guys, honestly, they're left behind now. They're just puffing and panting and wouldn't even dream of doing something like that. So stay in the game as long as you can, right up until, you know, your final days is what I would suggest, because it is worth it. You're going to feel stronger and healthier, and your attention span's going to be better. The whole thing is going to be improved.
Dementia, bone density. All the good things. I think also that you're doing quite high mileage as well. Perhaps it's time to mix it up a little bit and think about doing some cross training. Take a couple of runs out and switch it up with some cross training, where you can also add in a lot more intensity without the stress of running as well. So if you don't do any cross training, just introduce like 10, 15 minutes perhaps on a indoor bike or on a stepper. The body really responds to change, to stress. And if you've been doing the same thing for a number of years, it's got really comfortable and it's not going to change because it's really well developed. It knows what it knows. So add in a different stimuli. One, it's more interesting. It's exciting to try and do something, and you might be terrible at it, and that's fine. It might take you like 6 to 8 weeks to be able to push a bit of power on the bike, but that will transfer to your running as well. So don't do the same things, but have a look at training a little bit differently as well. And as we get older, our bodies do respond better to high intensity cross training than, as Russell said, to high intensity running as well. So maybe have a little bit of a look perhaps at some strength work too. If you've never incorporated that, it's never too late to add in strength work either. And if you think, I don't even know where to start with that, find a gym and find a good PT who can help you, and put a little bit of money aside for your future health as well. As long as you're still enjoying it, that is the most important thing as well. If you don't ever think that the numbers on the watch all the time should take away from the pleasure you have in your running and races as well.
Yeah, I 100% agree with the guys. Like, you are doing good miles. I mean, 50, 60 miles a week's good mileage, you know. So I would look at two things. I would look at, firstly, your plan. What could you potentially shake up in your plan? You know, maybe speak to someone about that and see, because who could have a look at your plan in detail to see what you need to potentially shake things up a bit there. I really do think that is probably one of the key things that would make a difference there, a bit of shake up with your plan. And the second thing I would say is just in terms of your motivation. One of my biggest motivations for training now is to keep up with my friends, or just be able to stay a reasonable distance so that they can me.
Guys,
Wait for me. Don't leave me. Find your motivation. It shouldn't always be race related. And I know it's important to you and stuff, but maybe the motivation is about just going out and having great days out with your friends. Or, if you're running with a club, it's working with that club to work in the category of your age group to try and beat other people at the local cross country races. I just find that fantastic motivation. It's great. It's super competitive. You work as a team. It's a brilliant way to maintain running as you get older. If you want to try some other long distance, it doesn't have to be a race. Do something like an FKT route or something like that, just to mix up what you're doing. Find the joy in planning your own big long trip along a route or something like that. Fundamentally, I would look at those two areas: your plan in a bit more detail, and the motivation for why you're doing it and what joy you get from it.
I'm not too sure if you guys offer this service, but you could contact a coach, and they might not want like 6 months or constant coaching, but they just want somebody to have a look at what they're doing.
So like I think the vast majority of coaches will probably do consultation. I do consultation fee where I look at your plan and give feedback on it. Eddie, I imagine you and Russell probably do as well.
Why not?
Do you do a consult? No, you're like, nope. You're either in or you're out.
No, not at all. I always do it like it's almost like the first coaching call I have is like I look at the plan, because you sort of look at what people have been doing. But absolutely, yeah. I often have talked to people about, a big race like a Dragon's Back or a Cape Wrath, and they're like, is this realistic what I'm doing? And we go through their plan, and they've sent me their plan, and then I've looked at it and gone, yeah, try this, try that. And sometimes that's all you need, is just like either reassurance you're doing the right thing, or someone to add in some new ingredients, spice things up with a bit of cinnamon and a bit of
just a bit of objectivity and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then just maybe like often after those calls, then we just keep in touch, and they might just go, do you think this? Do you think that? So I think lots of coaches do that as well. So you've done the first step by reaching out. The other thing is LDWA, like they are so inclusive, those long runs where you still get to run with people, walk with people, and amazing checkpoints, and pace is irrelevant. And it might help you feel a little bit more included in events as well.
I love the age group. Great point, that, Trish. That's where I
cross country.
gravitate.
It's great, isn't it? It's brilliant. Yeah.
And if you manage to take a few young scalps along the way, bonus.
Exactly. There's that non.
You see their legs in front of you, and you're like, look at those incredible. That's a 20-year-old legs.
Yeah, I'm gonna crush those 20-year-old legs.
I get past them, and they go, oh, they're just jogging. Damn it! I've gone max. I'm only 1K in.
I am genuinely really surprised now when I do cross country and I do well. I just think, how has this happened? That's
because you're a machine. And you go into fifth gear. There's no, I'm not slowing down.
I never run that fast in any other area. Nope. I never run that fast.
I can't get myself to work that hard. Only Zwift races and cross country races. Thanks, Harrier Trail Running, for sponsoring our Strava Club and the Tales from the Trails section. Harrier is the UK's fastest growing brand for trail runners, providing specialist kit designed for superior fit, comfort and function with the best customer support. Check them out for race vests, waterproof poles and other trail essentials at www.harrierrunfree.co.uk. You can also download your free copy of How to Run an Ultra Guide. If you'd like to save 10% on your purchase from Harrier, then use the code TEAS10, it's TEAS10 for 10% off site-wide, or check out their brilliant trail bundles for a special 20% off. A new jacket is available to pre-order, the XNRG 2.5 layer waterproof, built for runners who keep moving, whatever the weather. Weighing from just 236 grams, lightweight waterproof jacket delivers serious protection without slowing you down. Perfect for long training sessions, mountain trails, or ultra-distance races, and priced at a very reasonable $94.99.
I'm excited. We're going to test that out. I'm looking forward to putting it through its paces. There's plenty of water at the moment, so we'll definitely see how waterproof it is.
It was so wet in Storm Brown. I did just the dog jog. I've never, ever done this before. In waterproof jacket, waterproof trousers and waterproof gloves.
Oh my goodness me.
Just like 45 minutes. Normally I'd be like, wouldn't bother with all that. But it was so wet. I thought, I actually not sure I'd come home from that unless we're going full. And we ran off down the lane, and we ran 500 meters down the lane, and Taki went, I'm done, thanks. That'll do me.
out.
Time out and going back. So I ran back
Brew
with her.
Markathon.
And she's out. She tapped out. I said someone would tap out. And Lindy was like, it's cold, but there's still work to do, Mum. Let's get on this Paw Patrol perimeters.
More protein. First up in the Strava club is Anthony Rose, 98.3 miles for the week with the longest run of 98.3 miles. Total elevation, 10,036 feet. Winter Downs 100. Fifth and final 100 miler for 2025. Stunning weather, back locked up and hips and glutes duly complained. So slower than I wanted. I think, Andy, you crushed it.
Andy, that's when we say kudos.
Kudos. Next up is Uno Miles, 63.3 miles for the week with the longest run of 33.4 miles and 6,814 feet of vert. Celtic Trail Ultra victory for Una. Smashed it. Lovely bit of slate too. We always bump into each other in the Lakeland 100 in the field in Coniston. And I remember, if I've got this right, I was having a massive kit faff and I thought I'd lost my spork and Una came to my rescue. I actually found it in the end, so it was like a false alarm. But
did you give her sport back?
I did.
Just checking.
Last up is Jade Barrett, 212 miles for the week with the longest run of 212 miles. Total elevation, 22,352 feet. Those numbers, they hurt my eyes, Eddie. That's incredible.
You know what? Get used to it, Sonny Jim.
Well, if I've done 212 miles, then something's gone wrong in all the traverse.
You will do, because you'll be like, I did 40 miles leading up for the week. Just easy shakeouts, just Rex miles.
Winter Downs 200 for Jade. And she was fourth in the ladies' race. Absolutely crushed it. Enjoy your recovery. People have been racing.
Shall I read this? As much as we like you. Take a trip. People have been racing. Love this section. Winter Downs 200. Sarah Enright took the win for the ladies and she ran pretty much in the lead from the start. There was an exciting race for joint second between Libby Clark and Gemma Lyons. Libby ran much of the race in second place, and in the latter stages the two came together and they ran as a pair all the way to the finish. I got a little message from Libby. She had teamed up with Gemma and their sort of crews became friends and they were working together. And anyway, Libby's going to come on the podcast to tell a story because it's a great story, but she did message me going, is James going to be cross if we cross the finish line together? I was like, no, he'll be fine. A great show of determination and teamwork from both the athletes. They crossed finish line in 75 hours, 60 minutes, 27 seconds. Over on the men's race, wow, Caspian James, an inspirational run ahead of that cup, Gary, that elusive cup, all the way, winning the Winter Downs 200 men's race, smashing the course record with a time of 43:38:55.
It was interesting when we did the 13 Valleys together. I'm sure Caspian has no memory of me being on that start line, but he did not go screaming out of the traps. I'm pretty sure he jogged past us on the way to Honest Slate Mine. So, conservative start, but my goodness me, Caspian knows how to get the job done. Mike
Samuels finished second in a time of 50 hours, 34 minutes. And Tom Harvey, he overtook third place. Closed hard the final part of the race, passing Pete Thomason to secure third place in 55:28. I'm pretty sure I ran a lot of the race with Pete. Pete, if you're listening, correct me, when I did this last year. So it was great to see him finish the race this year as well. Kudos to all you Winter Downs 100 and 200. I loved all the media that came out and seeing everybody out there. And there's a lot of talk of like, it makes me chuckle, people finishing going, I can enjoy Christmas now, Christmas can start. And I think, yeah, but the reality of being absolutely ruined.
Well, I thought the timing's perfect. You've done a massive race. You can put your feet up. You might be kind of feeling normalish before Christmas, but the reality, 9 days, you've done it.
And also, if you're busy, you've got stuff to do. Like I know Libby sent me a picture from the train going, I've got to go into work. Then I've got the Christmas week. But with all that becomes that great feeling of you've done something, the smug feeling as you can eat those mince pies, you've done something mega. I really hope those races go from strength to strength because they are a tricky point in the calendar. What a challenge. The 100, it starts at 2:00 in the afternoon. So you are going to, like, if you're lucky, 2 hours of daylight, and you're literally running most of that race in the dark. Same with the 200. So they are really good races. Punk Panther, they've been doing the Christmas Cracker. There's not enough races called Christmas Crackers. 32-mile ultramarathon winners. All the winners set course record. Shut up. Awesome running in near perfect conditions. A lovely break in the weather for everyone. Torrential rain in the days leading up to the event gave way to a windless sunny day. First female, Samantha Davis, 10th overall, closely followed by Sinead Burns and Alice Kershaw completes the podium. All the male winners beat the previous course record too. First, Jing Young in 4 hours 49, smoking fast. Hot on his heels was Elias Dexter, and a few minutes later, oh my God, the jeopardy. A few minutes later to complete the podium was Tom Murphy Beard. All under 5 hours. And 33 miles, that is good.
Happy belated birthday to Giacomo Squintani. He is now V50, 100-mile week for Gia. I know, more competition. To celebrate the milestone, lots of miles with mates. I saw he did a 50-mile day too. That must have been on his birthday. Giacomo has eternal energy and he's a super popular member of the running community. I hope you had an awesome week, Gia.
There has never been a bigger heavy flex in the year of 2025 than what we're going to give now. She won't listen, but we'll give it to her anyway. To Trish, I am literally on my phone tracking. I was 3 o'clock in the morning. She was up on Fanny Big. I so wanted to send such an appropriate message, but I didn't. But her tracker kept stopping, and I was like, "What? Come on, Trish!"
Oh, I saw the weather forecast, and I knew she was going up into the Brecon Beacons.
As she's coming down, I saw a video this morning of her saying, "I just could not find the trig point up there in the clag and in the wind." And where she's very near the finish now. She's been ably supported by so many friends of the show: Andrea, Shane, Zoe, Jan, Robin, who've been out supporting her. And more inspiring than anything is her Trish's humour and good spirits throughout, but also, so she's one of those people that you would always want, you know, if you're picking a team, you'd pick Trish on your team. She is strong, she's capable, but she brings an energy, she's really positive. But her focus in this, Gary, there's no earphones.
Yeah.
I keep sending her WhatsApps and she's not looked at it for 3 days. Like, she is in a total, they send her out the van and we get a little video of her going off, and she's off, you know, she's back. She's on a strong hiking holiday, as Lucy's been calling it. But that, I find that really inspirational. Like, she's just totally, nothing has fazed her. She's going to finish at some point today, and we've been promised a live video call at the finish. I can't wait to hear about the adventure. And I'm just so proud. And when you see, literally, it's been a year in the training, in the making. Yeah. And she's had highs and lows in the training. And I'm just so, good things happen to good people. Heaviest of flex to you, TP. You're incredible. If you have a mate who's flexed or orbited the sun one time, then do email us at hello@tetontrails.com, and our production team will get back to you. And we will get that in the podcast in May, June, July. Make sure you pop out heavy flex or birthday shout out as a subject.
Tales from the trails.
This one gave me a little bit of a cortisol because it came in with the subject of disappointed child. And I thought, oh no, what have we done? Never would want to do, I don't care about you adults, but I was like, we'd never want to disappoint anybody's child. Anyway, it wasn't us that disappointed them. Hi, Gary and Eddie. I thought I'd send you an email to balance the Proud Child email we had a couple of weeks ago. This weekend, I took part in the brand new race, the South Hams Ultra. Oh, does it involve any hams? No, it's a 107-mile lap of the South Hams in Devon. It's a local race with a very small field, but watch this space. It has bags of potential. Taking in 50 miles of coastal path and navigating Dartmoor in the dark. It's not for the faint-hearted. On paper, it's harder than the Arc of Attrition. No way. You get the gist. With a 32-hour cut-off, I figured it must be easier than the Arc. Spoiler alert, I was wrong. I've completed the Arc with a gold buckle. Way! So I feel semi-qualified to say this. I was trotting along quite nicely, managing a steady average of 4 miles an hour, gold standard there, including the dark off-piste section on Dartmoor. As the wee hours of the morning hit, oh no, my nausea ramped up and inevitably slowed down. By the morning, I was crawling along the coast path in joint third place, and the only female left. My runner's math was madly calculating the speed required for the next checkpoint. It was faster than I'd managed for the last 10 miles. Oh my gosh. I tried speeding up but couldn't maintain it. So 24 hours in at mile 82, I blubbed into my husband's arms and said, I'm not going to make the cutoff. I reluctantly decided to give the race the credit of my first ever DNF and to live to fight another day. I was mostly gutted for my boys, 10 and 8, who wouldn't get to clap their mummy over the finish line. It's now Monday morning, and on the way to school, my 8-year-old said, Mummy, I wish you'd finished your race yesterday. So do I, Dylan, I replied. He then looked at me with his big blue eyes and said, you should have at least tried.
ouch.
Wow, that kind of honesty is not good for the post-race blues. Despite reminding him that there were only 2 finishes, his disappointment was immense, raw and real. So rather than the inspirational mummy that I was aiming for, I feel I have delivered the message of quitting when things get tough. I'm consoling myself with a cuppa, Yorkshire Gold, OVS, and telling myself to keep my head high and breathe and believe. P.S. Love the pod. Played it out loud in the dark. Oh, well done. P.S. Hot tea with dunked ginger biscuits help the nausea temporarily. From Jenny Spencer. Oh, Jenny. Now, you sent this a while ago. I'm absolutely sure the lovely Dylan has reflected on his comments and is immensely proud of you. Also, when they perhaps don't achieve something, I have used this angle many times and gone, it's not what it's... I said that the other day. It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up. And the teenager was like, what? Oh, it doesn't even make sense. I didn't fall over. No, that's not exactly
Too soon,
what I
Eddie.
meant.
Too soon.
Too soon. I think it's much more when we are, and it's always so hard when the children are disappointed when things go wrong, but it's the way we handle it, and it sounds like you handled it with grace. It wasn't your time. I wonder if you're going to go back and do it again. Let us know.
We love your tales from the trails and reviews. Please keep them coming. Email hello@tntrails.com and pop tales from the trails as the subject. Thank you, Protein Rebel, for bringing us home. Gentle on your stomach, driving your performance, whether you're trying to get a PB, training for your first marathon, breaking world records dressed as a rhino, or completing your 10th ultra. Protein Rebel's products are easy to digest with no artificial additives, providing both performance and overall health benefits. Daily marine collagen is designed for runners of all distances. Give your knees, ankles, hips, and tendons a break. You can train harder, recover faster, and stay injury-free. Trusted by runners of all distances, and it mixes easily, dissolves in coffee, shakes, or water. If you would like to buy or try some award-winning products, then use the code T15 for 15% off your first order over at www.proteinrebel.com, and patrons can enjoy 15% off every order. You need to pop over to Patreon for that discount code. Competition time. Our XNRG competition continues to win a place in the always sold out Pilgrims Challenge this February, which is a 2-day ultra totaling 66 miles on the 7th and 8th of February in 2026. What you need to do is pop over to Instagram. You need to like this post, tag a friend in the comments, share the post to your Instagram stories, and also you need to follow Tea and Trails and Extreme Energy 2. This competition closes at midnight on the 30th of December 2025, and the competition is for Instagram only. One winner will be picked at random and contacted by direct message.
This week, in our end of the show, where was that from? Is that from...
that's like Ant and Dec, isn't it?
Yeah, Ant and Dec. Can we steal it? They won't mind. Big fans. Nah. You watch any of I'm a Celebrity? I didn't get around to watching any of it.
And George loved it. George stayed. We went to bed at 9 o'clock. George stayed and watched it.
It's on a bit late. I was listening to the Rest of Entertainment pod, and they hire that out. That is it's almost like a studio. So they hire it out to all the different countries to do that I'm a Celebrity. It actually has an enormous roof over it so that they can carry on the production. But the Australian version isn't filmed there. It's filmed in South Africa because the Australians would think that wasn't the bush. It was far too tame. We thought we'd finish with a little quick discussion on our favourite bits of the pod. This should really be, I'm sorry, you're quite rude to me yesterday, Gary. I suggested something and you were like, no, that's not happening. And then I said this and you were like, I don't like it. Do you know what? You almost got a reply like I get to the kids of like, well, you do it then. You choose it. You've got such a strong opinion. Do you think now is the time of year to poke the bear, Gary?
True.
Anyway, we're going to have a lovely discussion. We thought we'd have a quick chat about our favourite bits of the pod, perhaps favourite bits that have come out of the pod. We're always looking for the positives. And I love all the stories that aren't the stories, if you know what I mean. They're not actually, they're sort of like the branches. I've done sort of like a bit like you have as well, my guests. We can't say favourite, but I think somebody that are sort of like, I absolutely loved Kaz and Kaz's Dragon's Back story.
Yeah.
I loved their story, but I also loved interviewing them and watching their dynamic, the love that they had for each other, their family bond, the finish when he went to finish and then she was at the finish to see him, and she had a really bad injury, but I loved that story and I loved meeting them. I felt really privileged that the podcast had given, and it was in a sort of like roundabout way because Trish knows them. And then I've just seen them pop up at one of Trish's support points in the middle of the night, Gary, to go and give her a big hug and say, well done.
Legends.
Those sort of people are the salt of the earth. And it really gives me like the grind of like general life and juggling everything and getting out for your runs and fitting your training in. And then just seeing people that are so much better than me. You're doing such a great thing and you're such lovely people, and I just felt like so lucky to have a little moment of them with them in my life. And I feel like that a lot with guests, that we get a little vignette into their lives for an hour or so.
That's my only negative with the podcast. Sometimes it just seems cold is the
It's
wrong
a bit
word.
clinical, isn't it? Because we have to be like, we've all got lives. We can't take up these people. We like, you'd like to just like, oh, should we talk later? Is that it?
It's like out of nowhere, then we're like all consumed. Then it's like move on to the next guest. It's sad sometimes. Imagine if you did like media where it was daily. Like you see, you're a news presenter. Oh my goodness me.
Because I was scrolling back through looking at all the things we've done this year, and I was like, mega. I think my other part of the podcast, and we have to bring the positive out of what has been a pretty rubbish latter end of the year for me, was the fact that after the disaster of Race Across Scotland, and I know you go, you should go to a disaster, then the amount of women who have then reached out and had blood tests and have realised that they're anemic. And if I think, and those are the only people that have actually reached out, I'm sure there's lots more of people that haven't messaged that have then come back and have now started looking at their blood results, taking some iron, and then I'm getting the messages now of when exactly what people did to me. And again, this is just so lovely, the podcast community. When I started taking the iron and I had to completely redo my diet, and people jumped into my DMs and were like, trust the process, Eddie, you're going to feel better. And I was like, I'm never going to feel better. This is the worst. And I've done exactly the same. And to lots of other runners that have said, I'm on the same journey, and I've been like, trust, you will feel better. And actually, some of them even now, still in the last week, I've had a few messages saying, oh my God, I feel better. That without the podcast, one, I might not have done that because I felt I had to explore why everything had gone so wrong. I felt I owed it to myself, but also I felt I owed it to the podcast. And then hopefully it's changed other people's running as well. So I feel very privileged, and I would prefer not to have to do that next year if possible.
Yeah.
Can I? But, I often think it is what it is. What did I hear? Where is this from? Can't remember. But somebody said, I don't worry about stuff in the future because it's already decided. It's already decided. And I thought, that's a great way when you're out on the Northern Traverse and you think, I can't do this. It's too hard. Or when I'm like, I'm just never going to feel like myself again. I think, well, whatever happens, you can't change the future because it's already decided. So don't worry about it. Just let it. It was Keely Hodgkinson. She said
That's
it on
twice
High
you've
Performance
referred to
Podcast.
Keely.
I love Keely. Oh my God, huge girl crush. Just her butt cheeks in those Nike Pro shorts, incredible. So those are my two probably my biggest takeaways. But all the guests, we never, if we ask you to come on the podcast and you say yes, we always have that little bubble of gratefulness. I'm so grateful for people giving up their time to tell their stories.
Mine has to be Teen Trails Ultra. To have the community come together like that. And for a lot of the people that were there, it was their first time doing an ultra. First time on those kind of high fells and trails. I just thought it was absolutely wonderful to be part of that. Yeah, something I'll never forget. Also, personally, it pushed me way out of my comfort zone, and I didn't completely crumble. It's just an awesome weekend.
Incredible.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I checked out the speakers for the National Running Show. You're up
I'm
there
on
with
there.
the hardest geezer and
Oh.
you can.
Yeah, I saw that too. Thanks to everyone who came along, and also, Area Events for making it all happen, because I just felt like we were in safe hands with those guys. Again, it's tricky. It's not a favourite interview. It's so tough. But one guest who I do spend a lot of time thinking about, and not in a kind of weird, creepy way, is Luke Grenfell-Shaw. His story just gave me the biggest pause for thought, from symptoms to diagnosis to the journey he's now on, and how he shares it over on Instagram. And the movie A Life in Tandem too. Yeah, it's hard to put a finger on it exactly. I just think he is, you meet these people every now and again in life, and he's a special guy. If you're interested, go back to episode 132 and 96. Check out more Luke Grenfell, sure.
Wouldn't it be great if we could have a Christmas party and invite all the guests, all the listeners? What a
massive Zoom.
A massive Zoom. Yeah, because then you could be in your PJs and you can choose your own snacks, you can have drinks, you can be on your sofa, you can stay as long as you want, bit of Mariah Carey on, start at 6, finish at 7. When did that become like, when is that moment where, when you're at uni and you're a young professional in your 20s, you wouldn't be out before. Do you remember on Saturday night, we used to watch X Factor? Yeah. X Factor and whatever was on, go out at 10.
Esme's round her mates having like pre-drinks. They have drinks before they go out.
Pre-drinks.
They probably don't even actually hit the clubs until in the early hours of the morning. Yeah.
Oh, the young again. Whoosh. Right. So we've got week before the big day. Santa is busy at your house. How's your Christmas shopping?
It's all done. It's easy. Our kids are a bit older.
So what do you just do? Does Father Christmas come?
Oh yeah, there'll be stockings and a few gifts, but it's the spend increases, but the perceived value reduces. What you see under the tree does not look impressive.
I'll just have an iPad. I'll just have an iPad. In what world?
Yeah.
Is that gonna? I was kind of thinking like pants and socks and a book.
You buy a game for the Xbox, and it's like it could be like 60 quid plus.
Maybe we should give them a budget next year. Maybe that would be better.
I wonder if you just give them the budget, what they would choose.
Yeah, would that not be better? And go, look, right, you've all got £100, and I can't get over, and Bryn tells me to get over this, as I just cannot get over how expensive everything is. How expensive everything is.
£100 a bit light, Eddie.
Do you think
higher?
Because I was looking this, like, I remember I used to get a £3 Boots voucher, Gary. A £3 boot voucher was like thrilling, and it's £100. Oh,
yeah, but you used to take milk bottles back to shops as well. The times have changed.
You used to clear your plate at Woolworths to get your lolly, and you'd see the Disney character. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to get Christmas cranky, as my kids call it. Don't get Christmas cranky, Mum. But I'm just going to try and get ahead with a little bit of wrapping and a little bit of sorting. Bryn's away, so I can wrap his coal and his bit of cheese and chutney.
Yeah, there's no gifting between Lisa and I. That's sad.
Oh, you just give the gift of love? Do you give a love voucher to be redeemed at any
love voucher. What a euphemism. I love it. Here's your love voucher.
I love it. My kids are going to break up very soon. They are so tired, Gary. They're the sort of like colour of beige. They need some vitamin D and they need to sleep. They have dragged them. So I don't know why. It's just, I think because the weather's been really bad and rainy and muddy, and they've not seen daylight. They go to school in the dark. They get home in the dark.
Oh, that's rough.
And they're just ready. And I'm ready not to be the one at the front door shouting like the banshee. A bit selfishly, it gives me back time because my kids are older. If you've got younger kids, sorry, but your time will come. I've done that shift. They don't get up in the morning, so I can train out.
Yeah.
Done.
I must admit, there's lots of guilt-free miles with George still in bed. It's like, well, he's
done, and they don't even know. So I'm really looking forward to no school run. Loads of lovely family time, chilling. I know I'll be like this time next week. I'm like, good, we're ready to go back to school. And I'm hoping to get out for some. I feel the last couple of weeks, the longer runs have really suffered. So I'm hoping with a little bit of extra time and being a little bit more daylight in my day, I've got a marathon route that finishes at a cafe, which is rare around where we live. And I'm like, I could leave the car there. I could run this like really lovely route and then meet the kids at the cafe. And then the car is on the way back to drive me back. But it's a day. Finding a day, as everybody knows, to escape is that's a lot of a Christmas. Or I have to start in the dark, and I don't really want it. But I'm hoping, like you said, we'll do lots of easy miles. Whatever happens will happen. I never, Christmas week and New Year week, I never try and do anything huge. Having had the spine hanging over me for Christmas, I'm always like so pleased I'm not doing because it does slightly just, it's just sitting there all Christmas.
Well, Northern Traverse is in my thoughts. Imagine if the spine was on your radar.
No, put it to side. You'll be exhausted by the time you get there. What are you doing? How many miles have you already run this week? I've only done 40 miles a day.
Whatever I did on the treadmill yesterday, no running so far. I'm in a debate, really. Do I test out, see how a workout goes today, or do I put it down just to a down week? No exotic plans for Moors or the Lakeland Trails. So yeah, just local running. I'm home alone. I was supposed to be in Essex with a family, but yeah, Rex just needs a little eye on him, so we stayed up north together. I probably won't wash. I've still got my Sunderland top on. I've had this on since Sunday. Living the dream, Eddie. Living the dream.
Living the dream. Will you do any cooking, or is it just going to be you and Rex?
Well, yeah, because I'd love to do that, but because I'm curious about this IBS potential.
Okay.
I've been Googling what I can eat and what I can't eat, and pretty much everything in the fridge is stuff I shouldn't eat. So all the bloody sprouts, the yogurts, everything's, oh my God. Apples, I eat about 3 apples a day. I'm not supposed to eat apples, apparently. Oh. And green veg, so I can eat green beans.
So what is this?
We eat a lot of broccoli, loads of broccoli.
Yeah, you need your green veg.
It's just finding the right green veg. I think green beans, there was something else that was okay. But
is it a case of food elimination? Do you need to
I would think I should try and go aggressive cold turkey and then reintroduce things and see how I go. Milk, I drink a lot of milk. Yogurts. Kefir was okay. I do drink quite a lot of kefir. Booze, I don't really drink much booze. I think fundamentally you can eat what you want. You're just going to pay the price. We
are making sure that you do not go without us, dear listeners, over the festive period. In order for us to have a bit of time off, we have to pre-record about 10. We have to do basically a week's worth in 3 weeks of work over a week, not complaining, but we are pre-recording a number of episodes, and we're going to put out.
You're complaining?
I don't like that one. Well, why don't you choose your own one then, you filthy lily-livered son of a... We're also going to put out... It's not our number 1 downloaded episode, is it? Isn't it number 2?
Hanging on, number 2.
Okay. It's going to be number 1. But we're going to re-release a special. I think you all can guess what it is. I'm not going to tell you. But we're going to re-release a special over the Christmas period as well for people that maybe never listened to it, or... I still get messages most weeks from people saying that they're traumatized. I did think, should I listen to it again before we record the introduction to it? And then I thought, I don't think I can. I don't think I want to go back to that place. We've got lots of interviews to record to make sure that you are all, but we don't want anyone slacking over Christmas and going, I wasn't motivated because I didn't have my favorite podcast in my ear, so don't worry, there'll be lots for you to listen to over the next couple of weeks too. Good luck if you are in the last Christmas throes of Christmas lists, Christmas parties, Christmas jumpers, Christmas raffles, as well as trying to keep on running and juggling everything else as well. Know that you're not alone. We are here with you. Thanks for tuning in. We love you for listening. Share the episode, share the pod, share the love. Pop over to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, or even give us the Christmas gift of becoming one of our awesome patrons. Thanks to X Miles Precision Fuel Hydration, Phoenix Light UK, Harrier Trail Running, Protein Rebel for sponsoring this week's show. Discount codes coming up: T10 2025 for Shocks, T15 for Protein Rebel, Tea Time 2025 for Precision Fuel Hydration, and T's 10 for Harrier Trail Running. Thank you to all our sponsors and patrons. We wouldn't and couldn't do this without you and your ongoing support.
Good luck to everybody out on the trails, racing, training, recce's, solo miles, or miles with mates. If you're on the start line for the Tour de Helvellyn, that is a wonderful race. I hope you all have a blast. Good luck to Joe and Stuart and all the team up there at NAV4. Let the trail or tarmac rise to meet you, and the wind always be on your back. Be kind to your future self, breathe and believe. Roll with the joy, and the miles will look after themselves, and if all else fails, chase the ball. My name is Gary Thwaites.
And I'm Eddie Sutton.
And that was the Tea and Trails podcast.